Hey everybody, and welcome to our Sisel Live today. So you just had a panoramic view of Tom Mower Sr.'s office. How'd you clean it this morning?
Well, I tell you what, unlike your room at home when you were my daughter, I guess you still are my daughter.
It was a mess, trust
Yeah,
me, it was a mess.
Yeah.
But before we talk about Transfusium today, because it's the last on our skincare products that we're going to be talking about, highlighting and letting Tom Sr. talk about this, what I commonly call the rock star product of the skincare line. We wanted to give you a little view of Tom's office. He's got a lot of personal mementos and things he's gotten from different countries, different governments, accolades as he's had his very illustrious career through his life. So Dad, let them know maybe a few of the things, we're not going to bring them out and show them, but as we've kind of panned your office, maybe one or two that are most important or meaningful to you.
Well, when you're in business like this and you do a lot of things, you have a lot of people that will give you acknowledgments and things like that. One of them is that I was knighted in Russia. And so it's just like in England where they knight someone for what they've done. And I'm a member of the Russian Academy of Science. So I think I'm the only non-Russian that is inducted into that. So I was knighted there, and then in Ukraine they gave me an award for honorary prince, and they did this. They did the same thing in Kazakhstan, and I've got numbers of doctorate degrees and all kinds of awards everywhere. The Dalai Lama has sent me a special plaque thanking me for all the things I've done with Tibetan medicine, besides the fact that I'm with the Dalai Lama in the whole child thing that we're doing. So there's lots of stuff. And my office, while it's a big office, I've got most of it out in boxes. I don't know what I'm going to do with it all. But there's a lot, and it's been fun. They're mementos of a career. But the big thing about it is, what did you do that triggered people to do it? I'm not out to get notoriety for myself, but people have done this, and I appreciate it. But the reality is, the business opportunity that we've provided and the sensational products that we're manufacturing and producing to drive that business opportunity is really what's made it all happen.
Okay, definitely. So thank you for tuning in with us. We've got some people here. As you tune in, let us know where you're from. We love to kind of give some shout outs. We've got Nancy Chapman says hello from Texas, and Ricardo Lasco says hi from Rome, clear from Rome. I love to see that. Anita Petrick from Florida, and Barbara Grindy. Cindy Winkenwerder says hello from Texas. So as you get on there, let us know, and we'll try and give a shout out to you today. So we are talking about Transfusium. I love this product. I go around, and when I talk about the skincare line, I constantly say, as we develop this, there was just kind of this hysterical tug-of-war story with Dad, and I laugh about it all the time because as he was developing this product, and we were kind of trying to get the packaging, the brochures, everything needed for this product, Dad was still formulating. I liken him to this mad scientist, and of course he embodies that perfectly. But truly, he just loves to formulate. He loves ingredients. He loves science. And to him, a product is never good enough because his mind is always learning. He's always researching. I constantly tell the story of coming out of a movie at 10 o'clock at night with my son and saying, let's call my dad. And, he said, oh, he won't be there. Well, he is. And he's working on products, and he's always thinking of how he can make these better. This product was no different. But as we're trying to wrap this up and announce it, Dad kept adding more and more ingredients. And as frustrating as it got with him, every time he'd show me what he was putting in there, I'm on board. I mean, this is one amazing product. And in the end, it's a product that, as you can see from the amazing before and after pictures from people, this product does what it says it does, which is very rare in the market today. So as he goes through, we talk about 24 amazing active ingredients in this product. Literally, when I'm out, I compare a product that goes for $232 in a competing company that uses one of those ingredients. So truly what you're getting for not only the price, but just, truly everything he's put in there. It's why I call this the rockstar product of the line. So Dad, if you want to go into some of the ingredients that you chose, maybe some of your favorite.
Yeah, I will. And let me say this about most products that are sold in the marketplace. They're overhyped and they underdeliver. In fact, is with cosmetics and skincare, I tell people, save your money and save your face. And they're probably the greatest source of toxins that you get in your body. In fact, as they are, science shows about 60% of all the toxins in the cells of your body come from skincare products. Because what goes on does not just stay on, much of it goes in and into the blood system and is redeposited around your body. In fact, as they think the major cause of breast cancer comes from a couple of products that are commonly found in cosmetics and almost the only source of them. One's a preservative and one is something they use to make it foam higher, but it's the same ingredient that it causes the potential breast cancer as in Agent Orange, where all the Vietnam vets are getting cancer from. And that's so common in almost every product that's out in the marketplace. Plus the plastic in the bottles is contaminated and it leaches out into the solution because it's soluble. And there's so many, but what we have at Sisel is, number one, we won't use any harmful ingredients. And we've been having a devil of a time on a product that is going to be the greatest one that has ever come out, I believe, in the history of MLN, and we're going to introduce it. We talked about it on the call this morning and last night, but we're going to introduce it in about a month and a half. And I can't tell you what it is, but it is bigger than anything I've ever seen in the 30 years, and I've been in business and the years I've looked before. But of all the skincare products that are out there, which one would you want to choose? Which one would you want to use? Let me tell you, if you really knew the science behind it, you'd use nothing but Vaseline on your face. It would work better than these expensive creams from all the big names that are out there. I just looked at one of the formulations from one of the major companies in the world, over 10 billion in sales, and they sold it for $340. And the formulation that actually published in a scientific journal I read, and so I costed it out, and guess what that formulation cost? 87 cents to make it.
Wow. And
it sells for $340. So what did you buy? A bottle of hype, a bottle of hope? But the reality was, it's not going to get rid of your wrinkles, and you're going to grow older, your skin's going to age faster because of it. Now, all that being said and done, if I said what it is on the products goes into your body, much of it does nothing, some of it is very toxic. But let's take a look at skin. It's the largest organ on the body, and we have access to it. It breathes in air from the outside, not from our lungs. And so it's taking in all these pollutants and toxins, and the visible light coming in ages skin. So does ultraviolet light that's there. So you have all those external aging processes going on, and the products you use age your skin. So now we put a formulation together here with Transfusium. And as I looked at this, and I've thought about it for a long time. I thought about bringing out a product, but I would find some more things. And of course, I know a great deal about skincare and that. So I wanted to really take it from bottom to the top, not the top and that's all, because with cosmetics, you're limited because the Food and Drug Administration or Ministry of Health say all you can do is address it in superficial terms. It makes it look, feel, seem, appear. Wrinkles seem to disappear. Lines appear to just to vanish and to go away, and things of that nature. But if you talk about biology, if you talk it down, going into where a wrinkle is a folded protein that's formed a little scar tissue actually on the bottom, and if you said, I can remove that wrinkle with it, then they're going to say that's a drug. But if we know what causes a wrinkle, don't we know something that could remove it? And the answer is absolutely we do. But you cannot say those kinds of things. You have to make the same claims that everyone else with these worthless products, overpriced, under-delivered, full of many potentially toxins are making too. So we have to do that. But here's the formulation, and normally a formulation you could put on one page, but here is the formulation for Transfusium that I put together. And you can see all of these things. They're so big, you could think of this just like if you took Leisel out to dinner, and this is the kind of bib you'd have to put on her to keep her from slopping all over herself. But what we've done is we put all these ingredients in, and they're all in here. This has been, I think, the second most difficult product I've ever had to develop. And so I'm going to just read you a couple. I'm not going to tell you what the products are and things like this, but let me just rip through some of this, and I'll just go down to them. Anti-wrinkle, 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 replumping the skin, tightens the skin, anti-wrinkle, and of course there's moisturizers, antioxidant, an exfoliator, and a regenerator, anti-aging product to keep the skin from aging, and anti-wrinkle, and anti-wrinkle, and anti-wrinkle, and cell-stimulating activity to make it take in more oxygen and nutrients, and to increase the metabolic rate. An anti-wrinkle, here's something for UV protection, and here's one that takes especially women's skin and makes and greatly increases it so it becomes softer, more moisture, and all that is produced in it. And then we have products that are actually in our TSX, which is the ones for reversing aging, for telomeres, and that's in it on top of that. And then here's another anti-wrinkle agent, and here is one that is equal, and for men or women this is really powerful for the skin to use it. So it's a tremendous product, and I'm not done. Here's another anti-wrinkle. Here's an antioxidant, a DNA protector, a whitening, a depigmentation agent, an anti-aging, a cellular exchange activating. It means it sends signals to the cells so they work together, and one for collagen and elastin production.
Okay, so let me interrupt you here. It's a ton. So I have the question, and for sure, if you have any questions for us, comment on here, let us know. We'll kind of answer your questions. Here's one right now that we can maybe talk to before I get into this other question I want to ask you. Does this help with vitiligo?
It doesn't help with vitiligo, because vitiligo is where the immune system has turned against the pigment cells and it destroys it. However, there is some science that's out there that we're exploring right now that might solve the issue with vitiligo. I think so. But we're not going to use it necessarily for vitiligo because that's a small market. But how about people who wants to have more pigment in their skin? And that's one thing that we could do. Or people who get a lot of white spots and things like that on their skin. Or how about a natural sun protectant where you produce your own pigment just like you're in the sun? You see, those things, and some of those are coming out of vitiligo research, but we're working on those things right now.
I want the one that gives you a tan.
Well, okay.
So I'm too pale all the time.
Yeah.
I want all the...
And too thin. We got to work on a parasite product for her too.
He always says that. I want to kill him. So Chris Coffee says, question, a new container? We've had that a lot because a lot of times with the pump, we see distributors getting in there and they literally break this jar open. They love this product so much. They break this jar open to get to the bottom of it. So we do have an answer for that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And we have a new container. And the thing you have to do when you're in business is run out of your old containers.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're going to do. As soon as we're out of these, we have a beautiful container. Veronica, maybe you'd like to get it if you would like to. We'll give you a preview of what it's going to be like.
This is an exciting moment because we haven't shown anyone this tub yet. So brand new, all ready. We're going to order it as soon as we're done here with these. And so this will be the first look for you guys here that are on this with Sisel Live. So appreciate you joining us.
Be kind of like Folger's coffee, good to the very last drop. And then with this one, you'll be able to get that last drop of Transfusium and rub it into your skin.
Very easily. So Angelica is here again from Germany, and she says, at what age should you start with Transfusium?
Well, that's a good point. I mean, your skin is almost perfect till you're about 25. In your case, it was about 14. But if your skin is growing, and young, you don't need. But after about 25 or so, even if you want to start in your 20s, you should, because would you like to retain most of that look, that appearance forever?
Right.
I would think so. So women in their 20s ought to be, very definitely in their 20s, but even in early 20s, ought to be on it because it supports the skin. You listened to all those ingredients, and I didn't even go through all of the biological functions that it can provide, but you should start on at that age.
Now let me ask you this. Tim Proctor, before you show that, Tim Proctor says, does this, I already know the answer to this, because you talk about the worst thing that you can do to your skin is UV damage. So he says, does this help with damaged skin from the sun?
Well, what you have to do is say this to you, Tim. It makes it look, seem, and appear younger and less damaged. But that's all we can legally say about it.
Yeah.
But it has powerful things in it. You know me, you know the company, what we're doing. I have put some ingredients in it for sun damaged, aged skin, pigmented skin, crepey skin, all of those kinds of things, turkey neck, you know, things like that you can get. And I've got it in there so it can really work.
Okay, so that goes perfectly with the question I was going to ask you, because I've had some people say, do we really need that many active ingredients? Is that overkill? Well, it's not really, and I'll let you explain, but we have 4 or 5 issues that we deal with, and it's not just wrinkles, but we have age spots, we have loss of plumpness, all those different things, all those ingredients work on different issues.
Mm-hmm. And I'll give you a good idea, but now I'm tired of holding this thing.
Here,
This is the new product. Can you see that?
It's beautiful.
New container. It's a beautiful container.
It's got Transfusium on the front here.
See, we're ready to go. All you have to do is sell more of it, use more of it, and you'll get this new container. It's up to you how quick you get it, but we have to go through the others. And of course, Leisel isn't showing you, but you have to take the top off of this thing. Okay? And there you go. Just very less drop and put it on right to the end. Now, what we're going to do with this is we're going to bring it out fairly soon, but let me tell you about the skincare, which is a very good thing that people said. Here's what we can talk about according to the DSHEA, which is the Dietary Supplemental Health Education Act, is you can talk about ingredients. So we can't say it will do this, but we can say if you put the products out of sight, if you keep them where you can talk about ingredients, now we can talk about the ingredients, but we have to put a disclaimer. These claims have not been approved or reviewed by the Food and Drug Administration. It's up to you to listen to them and then to decide if this product will work for you or how you can sell it. So since now we're into the portion where we're not talking about products, let me tell you what these ingredients do. You know, have you ever heard the saying that beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes clear to the bone? Well, that's really true. And so what we do as people get older, you know, their facial, you've seen it, their facial contour starts changing. That beautiful look that women have like this, they start losing, especially women, they start losing bone mass, and the growth of bone and things like that goes down tremendously. I have a powerful formula that goes all the way through it, clear to the bone. And so that's where we start. But what's on the bone? Then you have muscles that become saggy and weak, and pretty soon your skin is starting to look like it's hanging down. And so with us, we have something that goes right there. So the bone, then the muscles. Then below that is the stem cells. They're the ones that are producing new cells. And when you're young, you produce a cell and it migrates to the surface, gone in 30 days. When you're old, it's 120 days or 150 days, and the matrix of the whole skin has collapsed and got thinner. So the ratio of old cells to young cells is tremendously different than when you're in your 20s. So we want to restore all that. So stem cells are like car engines, they wear out. But you can do things to support it so that there's ingredients that support it to regenerate and to repair itself and to create new stem cells, new engines to produce, like chickens with more eggs. You know, if a chicken produces an egg, book, there's an egg. But when we're young, our skin is going book, 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 book. But when we get older, you know, that's how it is with our skin. So what we're going to do, we're going to make you a spring chicken with this one, because you can start producing those stem cells like crazy. But as they go up through the basal layer, then there's something has to hold them up, like Jack and the Beanstalk. And so we have things to improve the elastin that goes up. These big structures, they get so thin and so weak that the whole matrix of the skin comes down. We work on that. And then the collagen network that goes through it, it's like a fishnet. Pretty soon, it's just fluctuating every way. And the levels of the skin, they get big gaps in them, and then you get more sagging and all that. Man, we can hit collagen like crazy with this type of thing, and it's not putting in a collagen, it's helping your skin to produce the collagen that you want with it. The other thing is it has to be a lot of moisture, hyaluronic acid. Well, your skin can produce hyaluronic acid. It just goes way down. So the reservoir is getting dry. We can fill that reservoir back up with hyaluronic acid. And then there are so many things that make up components of skin and activity of skin and signaling and the layers which have gone all kinds of waffly. We can make them solid and thicker, and the skin goes up, becomes more firm. And what does it happen when it comes to a wrinkle? Does anyone know what a wrinkle is? It's a refolding of a protein into a disulfide bond. What is that? It's like when you cut yourself and the skin repairs it and you have a scar. This disulfide bond, the skin actually pulls itself in to protect itself from the sun because it's been damaged. And those damaged cells kind of migrate there because the strong ones are pushing them out, and it pushes the weak ones over. So when it does that kind of thing, they go in, and then you have that scar tissue. There's a new ingredient, and it's called thyrodoxin. And thyrodoxin is like, have you ever gone out to eat and you've spilled some food on you and water won't get it off? But you take a little bit of saliva and put it off it comes. It's enzyme action. We have thyrodoxin in this formulation, which will eat away the disulfide bond. And then what happens? Then you have to have something to make it want to come together and to rebond and to become firm as it does. We've covered all those bases. This is the most complex product ever developed in the history of the world. No one is even close to it. No one would have these kind of ingredients. It just has enormous power. And for us to sell it for the price we're selling is absolutely absurd. It should sell for 3 or 4 times that much more, but because we're debt-free, make our own products, can do that, we've got it at this great price for you.
Well, as I go around and I talk to everyone, I actually talk about that because as you kept putting in more and more ingredients, I reminded you, we've got this price point, and you said, and I always go back to this as I'm talking about this product, and one of the things that I truly admire my dad for and have respect in the way he formulates products is that each of these ingredients, they are very expensive, and as he adds and adds, so should the price of the product. And I said to him, we've got a product, we've announced the price, and we can't move from that. So, and I remember he turned to me and he said, what's the most important thing? And I looked at him and he said, this product has to work.
Well, that's the second thing. I actually said you need to get a husband.
No, you didn't say that. So anyway, people are loving your spring chicken. Nico says, gonna use the spring chicken in everything she talks about. Yes,
sure.
Teresa loves it. I will not do the spring chicken analogy when I'm out talking about this, but they're loving it. No, I refuse. Terry Lois Gregory says, Tom, can you post any of this in writing so that we know the spelling? Well, that's easy. We've got the ingredient list up. You can look at all of that on, but what can you post?
Yeah, and what we're going to do is, you can see how exhaustive this list is that we have, but I wanted to print it out to show you. Fact is, water is a minor ingredient in it, but I had so much trouble in keeping it all in solution because we had all these ingredients building this thing up, and so we had this mega formulation, but you couldn't take a big handful of gombo and kind of rub it in your face. You had to have a lotion so it would penetrate. We have penetrating agents, oxygenation agents, all of these things, things to open follicular channels so it can go down. Stuff you don't even think about, but we do, and it's all here. So when we did that and we put this together, we made it with a formulation that is like nothing else in the world. This is the product of all time, but it's not done. I'm not done. We're looking for more things that we can do. Found another one. And so I developed it. But you get things registered in countries. You get certain amounts made, and then we'll metamorphose over. Here's another one. Now it's newer, better, because of something else that we found. And maybe it's doing something that something else is doing, but it does it better, or it does it with it together synergistically to make it better. So that's how we work on these things.
Well, the cool thing with this product, and I love, and as you're commenting to us, hey, show those before and after pictures, because the exciting thing about this product was the minute in fact, you gave a few people, some distributors, an early chance to start using it. Remember Doc Fizz? His results after 3 weeks were amazing. So those of you who've got some before and after pictures, put them in the comments. Let us all see them. It's a lot of fun. And truly, what will make you believe in a product? A lot of people want to see, does it work? And some of the pictures we have, Pat Garrett's mother-in-law, and I mean, literally, we've got picture after picture after picture. If we don't have yours, send it to us, put them up. We love to see it because that truly shows what Transfusium does, changing the total appearance of your skin.
And there is one other thing to finish this off. We're going to have a science page. And on that science page, it has to be separate from our products, but you can be on the product and you can click it to go to the science page. And when you go to the science page, it will have all of these individual ingredients listed that are in it, but it will, what we can actually show, what we're allowed to show by Duché, is copies of articles that they're showed in their entirety, or clinical studies, or things like that. And some of this you won't understand, but I promise you this, when you'll pick enough of them off, and you'll be astounded at the science behind this.
Well, look at what Terry Lois Gregory said. Gave a demo on this product. This person, she joined with a $5,000 order.
Wow.
I mean, this product,
good for you, Terry.
It truly is that kind of a product. That's why we've saved it for last to hear talk about, because we've really saved the best for last with this product. Now, put your comments, put your pictures. We're going to choose a couple winners. How many are you wanting to give away? This is our last time on the skincare.
What are we giving away?
We're giving away Transfusium.
Well, you know how cheap you were last time. You only want to give away one. We gave away 3. So.
No, I'm however many you want. I want to a lot.
Okay, we're going to give 4.
4 Transfusiums away.
This is my final meeting with you. We're going to give 4 of them for you. So there'll be 4 big winners.
You know what'd be fun is to put some Transfusium in the new packaging for a winner.
Yeah.
Why don't you pick up the bottle and let's give a last look to everybody on it.
Okay. Here's the new bottle.
Okay. And let me just kind of come up here.
And the present one is not ugly, but it's just not as functional as what the new one is.
And I don't know if you can see it, if that's close enough. If you turn it, it's got some beautiful flower imagery within the red. And it's just so nice. It's got Transfusium there. You open it, so easy to get to. We kind of listened to what you had to say. And the pump was awesome. It just left some in there. So really excited to have this new packaging. We've had this here available for a couple months now, and like Dad says, as soon as we get through what we've got as far as our inventory here with this bottle, then we'll start sending out this too. So exciting about that. So these, as much as you've harassed me every week,
I just told the truth.
They've loved it. They've loved talking about the products and going through just learning things that maybe they hadn't known before.
Yeah, and let me tell you one thing. You've seen all of this, and it certainly makes a lot of sense, and it's got to be impressive. So what are you going to do about your wrinkles? What is someone else going to do about the wrinkles? If you use any other product in the world, they're not going to improve your wrinkles. That's my scientific opinion, and they're bad for you, and you pay a lot of money, and they trick you into thinking it's going to work for you, and they have some 20-year-old model out there standing on a cliff dressed in something that I like to see her dressed in, but anyway, with the wind going through it. Why don't they bring Grandma out there and put her on the cliff? Her grandma that's used that same product all her life. Her face will have more lines in it than a Rand McNally road map on it. But not with Transfusium. You're going to step back in time and step back significantly, because take my word, this is the only product, I believe, that will actually really work on old skin, sagging skin, aged skin, discolored skin, all of those things. There's nothing like it in the world, and everything else, let me tell you, it's a waste of money and it's a waste of effort to put it on.
Well, you're getting everybody going crazy here. Kent Schmidt said, would this help with his Clint Eastwood squint wrinkles? Yes, he is. He's excited. They love the new packaging.
Well, you'll never be Clint Eastwood. I can see your photo there, but it probably would help the wrinkles.
Belinda Garrett's loving, saying you're looking awesome and fashionable today. We've got so many people. Boy, you've just got them going today with this.
Well, this is a product to get anybody going. You look at this thing, Botox, worthless, a poison. It numbs the skin. It makes it sick. It ages faster. And it creates allergies and damages your immune system. Nerium oleander, the product that is used by another company in a bottle like this, it's a poison. People would take the leaves of this flower and eat it in Europe to commit suicide with. And so they dilute it. So Botox, it's from botulism. It kills you. So they take this Nerium oleander poison and they dilute it down to where it doesn't kill you, but it makes your skin, it's like getting a shot of Novocaine. Wrinkles are all gone, but your skin is just down. And then in the long run, you think affecting the biological activity of the skin is good for you? Of course not. It doesn't make sense with it. And then the skin will age faster because it can't keep up to speed. So you buy a bottle and say, look, my wrinkles are gone so quick. Yeah, and wait till you see what happens in 5 or 10 years. And for most of them, they have severe skin irritation.
Yeah.
So there's something with all these products. Most of the best thing to say is they're worthless. And this is powerful beyond belief. In fact, as the head of the American Society of Cosmetic Chemists has done a video for us, and he's going to say, and we'll produce it, that this is the greatest product ever created in the history of skincare.
Wow. Okay, so people are already saying, how soon will this be reposted? They are wanting others to see it. Loving all of the sessions. Some lady, Denise O'Donnell, I'm a granny and one of the excited people to grow younger with this awesome
Granny,
product.
you're soon going to become one hot babe, I can tell
I'm a
you
granny
that.
too, and I love these products. So we're going to give away 4 of these. Post your pictures, post your comments, any thoughts you have. We want to see them. We're going to give them 4. Now, these have been so popular, and everyone has absolutely loved being able to just kind of take Tom's mind and get as much information as we can in about 15 to 20 minutes and on each product. So they've asked us to kind of go from here. Now I'm going to be leaving and going to Australia. We've got a lot of people from Australia. Joe Hill, tons of people saying, hey, can't wait for you to get there. Katie Larking, and so we're going to give it a break of about 2-3 weeks, and then we're going to go through the personal care line, some other products that distributors maybe haven't seen Tom talk about, haven't seen some of the ingredients in there. We'll go through those and just have him do the rundown like he's done. People have just asked us to please continue this. So we'll give it a 2 or 3 week break. So, and then while we're there, we won't be talking about product. I'll be doing some live events from Australia. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, it's going to be so fun. We're going to have the distributors help us. You will not be there to harass. Well, Tom will be. So we'll have a lot of fun. So join us live as I go to Australia, and we'll kind of give you the rundown of what's going on there. Thank you for joining us. You want to wrap this up?
Yep, bon voyage for Australia, and welcome to the world of Sisel. It's like none other. With this, we're going to create a dynasty. And when you see what is coming out here in a month, oh my God, you're going to go absolutely zonkers. It'll develop huge amounts of business, great numbers of distributors, and you just talk to somebody on the street and you'll sign them like that, or sell them a product. That's the kind of thing we're doing at Sisel, and you're going to see a runaway company happening within just before fall this summer, so get on board.
See you in Australia.